Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danny Alexandra, and on this channel I talk about fashion, fitness, and life as a new mom. So if you're interested, please subscribe, and let's get on with today's video. So today I wanted to talk about my birth story because it's something that I was really nervous about, and I watched a lot of these types of videos when I was in my last trimester of pregnancy, just trying to get like mentally prepared for giving birth. So my baby girl, she was born May 6th, so she's almost 3 months now. Time flies. And she's my first, so this was my first experience with all this. So everything went pretty well with the pregnancy, but towards the end, the doctor had recommended to me to get an elective induction. She said that she doesn't recommend patients going past their due date because she says once you go past the due date, nothing good happens, in her opinion. She says that the baby's bigger, so a higher risk of a C-section, and the placenta isn't, or there's theories that the placenta past 40 weeks doesn't give as much nutrients to the baby, to the fetus, or not fetus, baby. But yeah, so I was kind of torn on this because I was doing so much research about you know, if an elective induction is harmful, or you know, if it's better just to go the natural route and wait for labor to start on its own. So I ended up doing the elective induction, and I'll get into that. I was I think it was 2 centimeters dilated. So at 37 weeks I was 1 centimeter dilated, or 38 weeks. I think it was 38 weeks. 38 weeks I was 1 centimeter. 39 weeks I was 2 centimeters dilated, and then I ended up getting the labor induction that week. So I was due May 8th. I went in May 5th, technically May 6th because it was midnight. So I went in. I was having contractions but wasn't feeling them, but I got hooked up to the contraction monitoring machine, so that's how they knew I was having them. But they said that not all contractions are effective, so that's something else later on that they hooked me up to. There's another machine that can tell like the strength of the contractions, not just if you're having them. So yeah, I got hooked up to all the monitors at midnight on what the day that had been the 5th, but was what now was the 6th. And they started me on a really low dose of Pitocin. And so throughout the night, I had some cramping, but it wasn't anything unbearable. And it was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I had the bloody show, which kind of just looked like when you get your period, you know, you have like a big blood clot or something that falls out. So it looked just like that. So I was excited because I thought that meant labor was kind of progressing. But when they checked me in the morning at like about 6 a.m., I had only dilated from 2 to 3 centimeters. So that was kind of like slower progress than they want, but it was still okay. But a lot of the times, in addition to giving you the Pitocin, if the water doesn't break on its own, then they'll break your water to kind of speed things up with the labor. So that's what they did. They broke my water at 7 a.m. And that is when I started having pain. So the doctor came in. There's like this long plastic hook looking thing. They insert it up there and just pop your water. You feel like a warm gush of water come down, and immediately I felt like this sounds really gross, but to me, the labor contractions felt like the worst diarrhea pains of your life. But imagine, like, you know, when you have that, sometimes you go to the bathroom and then you're relieved. But imagine just having it for like hours on end, no relief. So that's what it felt like to me. People said period cramps, maybe period cramps too, but I feel like diarrhea pains are worse. Anyways, so yeah. So at 7 a.m. they broke the water. I was in a lot of pain. The nurse asked me to stay laying down for 20 minutes after they broke my water. I don't know why. I don't remember. But I don't know if that's something that they always do or if that's just what she did. But anyways, so I was there for 20 minutes, but it was horrible because I just wanted to get up and move around and I couldn't. When I finally was able to get up and move around, I went straight to the bathroom because, like I said, it feels like you want to just like relieve yourself so that you can get rid of this pain. But of course I couldn't. So I was just standing in the bathroom. I didn't want to come out. I kind of felt like I wanted to like lay in a warm pool of water. And I feel like that maybe would have helped. Like if I had that, I maybe would have been able to do birth naturally without medication. But yeah, just being hooked up to all these monitors and just being able to only stand, it was kind of very difficult. So I actually started shaking from the pain, like shaking uncontrollably. And I don't know what that was. That's never happened to me before. So they asked me if I wanted to do the epidural. And I wasn't opposed, but I had wanted to try it without it. Tried to go without it. But I ended up doing the epidural. The epidural was not bad at all. If you've ever had stitches, the only thing you feel is the anesthetic shot, like the same thing they would give you when they do stitches. So it's like, some people say it's like a bee sting on your back or something like that. It's really not bad. It's also kind of like maybe when you're getting an actual shot, you know, in the arm or whatever for blood work, or it's kind of like that. It's not much worse than that. But, you know, the only thing is you have to sit still. That was kind of challenging while I was shaking, but, you know, you just do it somehow. So, yeah, I mean, I also, like, was holding on to my husband and, you know, praying to be just, like, calm. So I think that helped. And so, yeah, so the epidural process is about 20 minutes. And funny story, you should probably be wary of your husbands or spouses. My husband almost passed out from the needle because he looked at it because it's like very long. And so he had to lay down, and the nurse kept asking him, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "No, I'm fine." And she's like, "No, are you okay?" She's like, "The last dad that said he was fine fell and split his head open and wasn't able to be there for the birth. So we don't want that." So yeah, something to be cautious of. So anyways, yeah, after the epidural, I was relaxed, I was calm, and I was kind of just chilling. I didn't feel anything at all, which was great. They do put a catheter in so you can go to the bathroom, because you can't go to the bathroom. You can't eat or drink anything past that too. I think you can only have ice chips. So that's kind of annoying. I was like so thirsty by the time I gave birth. But I was kind of worried about the catheter too, but that wasn't bad at all. I didn't feel it at all. And towards getting closer to giving birth, I did start feeling pain again. I wasn't like fully, sorry, I had to get her because she woke up from her nap. She is not napping too much in the daytime anymore, and just wants to be held all the time. Right, Ping? Okay, so anyways, so yeah, I started feeling the pain a little more. And they can give you more medication, but I didn't want to do that. I mean, I did get the more medication. I'm sorry, they wanted to reinsert the catheter because it's a catheter is what they leave for the epidural. They wanted to reinsert it because he said that's the only way for me to be numb on both legs, because I was pretty numb on one leg, but on the other I was like probably 50% numb, maybe only 40. It was pretty awake. But what's wrong? So I ended up just trying to turn it up a little, but not having the whole process started again. So anyways, I had progressed from 7 a.m. when they broke my water to about 10, 11. They checked me again, and I was at, I think it was 7 or 8 centimeters. Then she checked me an hour later at about 12 noon, and she said I was fully dilated and the baby was there. She could see the head. So that was actually faster than she expected. So she had to call the doctor, who was not at the hospital, to come and deliver the baby. So we waited for like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. And then the doctor arrived finally. I was never so happy to see someone in my life, because when I felt the contractions, I had to hold on to the bed to get through them and breathe to get through them, because it just felt like a lot of pressure and a lot of like just a mixture of pain and pressure, like the diarrhea pains and pressure down there. So yeah, she came, they got everything set up, and I pushed 4 times. So you push with each contraction when you're having a contraction. I pushed 4 times and I was able to get her into the world. I could have pushed her out in 2, but I didn't, because I was holding back because I didn't want to poop myself. So if I have any recommendation, I would say just give it your all. Just push like you're pushing your insides out, because they don't care. I mean, they see this every day. It's a little messy. It is what it is, you know? So, and plus you want to just get it over with as quickly as possible. Past the second contraction, I was like, okay, forget it. I just need to get her out, because this is just a lot of work. Pushing is like physical work. I don't know how people do it if they don't exercise. Like, I exercise a lot, and I exercised 3 times a week during the whole pregnancy, spinning and walking and all that. And I still was just really tired from pushing. And also, the following days after giving birth, like for about a week, I had what felt like inflammation in my lungs from pushing so hard. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, but when you are like exercising really hard, say doing like HIIT training or sprints, something like that, you get what is like inflammation in your lungs. So when you breathe in, it hurts. That's what I had for like a week. And that was just from pushing so hard. But anyways, yeah, that was my story. They said it was an easy labor. I could not agree. I disagree. But you know, everybody's a little bit different. The only thing I could say is you'll do great. You know, just have your supportive team with you, your mom or your spouse or whoever you want there with you, and you'll get through it. If you choose to do the epidural or not. Oh, that was the other thing. I did tear. So I did feel when she was stitching me, like 50%. I felt like 50% of it. So that kind of hurt, because every time she would like break the stitch, my leg would like flinch from the pain. And you know, the after recovery is, it's kind of hard to sit down, but the ice packs help with that and all of that. And it's not like an easy process, but it's also not impossible, you know? And like everyone says, they're worth it. They say you forget the pain. I don't think you forget. I just think you feel like it's worth it, you know? And you would do it again. You would do it over and over again for them. Yeah. And as far as like the elective induction of labor and all of that, I say just do your own research, and ultimately you want to trust your healthcare provider. Like, you want to have a doctor that you trust, and that's how I made my final decision with my doctor. Was after doing my own research, I also, you know, I saw pros and cons to both sides, but I also trusted that she knew what she was doing, and does this day in and day out. And so I had that faith that what she was recommending was the best route for me. So I don't know. That's all I can say. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll go through and respond. And also, if you want any more like baby related content, or have any questions, just let me know and I'll make a video on it as well. So take care. Congratulations on your baby if you're pregnant. And I'll see you in the next one.